I'm Andy Temte, and welcome to the Saturday Morning Muse. Start your weekend with me by exploring topics that span leadership, business management, education, and other musings that are designed to support your journey of personal and professional continuous improvement. Today is August the 17th, 2024. Does it feel like you're just swinging in the breeze, rudderless and directionless in your work? A mindset hack that I like to employ is to tell myself, today I will practice being intentional to improve engagement with my work. It's easy to fall into the trap of allowing the subconscious to take over and guide us. It's much more difficult to engage the frontal lobe and be deliberate with our words and our actions. Entropy, which is the natural tendency for everything to fall apart, is always lurking in the wings and is all too happy to take over when we take our eye off the ball. So, today I'm musing about building the skill of living with intention. While I'm talking primarily about your work environment today, practicing the skill of being intentional also adds value in your personal life. So, how do we improve intention? Step number 1 is to engage in self-reflection. I believe that both personal and workplace intention must be practiced. To get started, carve out some time for self-reflection. Personally, I like to engage in self-reflection on my tractor or while I'm out on our property trimming or gardening. The whir of the engine helps to free my mind. I encourage you to find your happy place and to use that space to self-reflect. Turn off the music, take out the ear pods and all the other convenient distractions that consume your mind. Learn to just be. For many, it's difficult to be still and allow your thoughts to wash over you. Now, while you're self-reflecting, here are a few questions to ask yourself. And again, these are primarily work-related. Number 1, are my individual and team goals well defined? Do they align with my purpose? Does my personal purpose align with that of the company's North Star? Do I even know what my personal purpose is? Next, am I filling the workday with busy work that's not really moving me and my team closer to our goals? Third, what's the status of my joy versus drudgery ledger? Now, everybody has drudgery at work. Everybody has those things that fill your cup with joy. Is that ledger out of balance? Number 4, are things happening to me, or am I making things happen at the office? Am I driving change? Am I adding value? 5th, on average, am I a tourist or am I a meaningful contributor in the endless stream of meetings that I'm invited to? If I'm a tourist, that is a signal that I'm not being intentional. 6th, just a very philosophical question. Am I adrift or am I anchored? Am I floating or am I grounded? A wonderful tool to use during this or any other self-exploration exercise is the 5 whys from continuous improvement. This helps uncover the root cause in any issue that I'm having. To use the 5 whys, pick a question that we just went from the list that we just went through and ask your first why. Your response is unlikely to arrive at root cause, so ask why a second time in a slightly different way. Continue asking whys in an attempt to get rid of or shed the surface level or superficial rationale that we typically use to justify our actions and delve deeper into the true meaning behind your motivations and your purpose. That's right. We all tell ourselves these superficial stories about why we do certain things, but we really got to get to the root cause. And if you're unsure of your personal purpose, I have a free guidebook on my website that can help create that personal clarity and define your personal purpose. Here's a word of caution. Self-reflection and the use of the 5 whys requires an open mind and a strong ego in order to challenge potential unconscious bias and consider answers that may not be popular or fit neatly into existing narratives that you're telling yourself. Hence, it is seldom the case that meaningful results come solely from self-reflection exercises. To make more progress, we need the help of our coaches and our mentors. So, step 2 in improving intention is to talk to a coach. Many of us will need the help of a coach or mentor to turn self-reflection into action. To start, ask your supervisor for a meaningful block of time to discuss the results of your self-reflection exercise. An enlightened, empathetic, compassionate supervisor will have a strong coaching skill set that will help get you back on track. This type of supervisor will have excellent active listening skills and will jump at the chance to engage in a development conversation that's driven by you versus the more traditional development conversations that are driven by them. The reason behind starting with your supervisor is that they should have a clear understanding of business priorities and are in the best position to help connect the dots between your role and your work and that of the team and ultimately the company and its North Star. Narrowing the focus of the conversation is key here. It's so easy to become overwhelmed by the list of things we should be more intentional or deliberate about and end up being paralyzed and do nothing. So, if you don't feel like your supervisor would be receptive to this conversation, do 2 things. First, engage in that same 5 whys exercise to uncover the root cause behind your reticence to have a deeper development conversation with your supervisor. One of your boss's primary jobs is to help coach and develop you into that next best version of yourself at work. Maybe you're held back by the post-traumatic stress of a bad boss in your past and you're projecting that experience onto your current supervisor. However scary it may seem to have a deep development conversation with your supervisor, I recommend giving it a chance. You might be pleasantly surprised. Next, ask a non-work coach or mentor to help you make sense of your self-reflection. And as an alternative, your company's human resources department may have access to third-party coaching resources that you can tap into. Now, according to Gallup, the survey company, employee engagement has been on an absolute roller coaster ride since early 2020, just before the pandemic, when the percent of engaged employees in their work peaked at 36%. Since that time, we've lived through a deadly pandemic, social and economic upheaval, and a period of reflection on the meaning of work and where work fits into our lives. As of this recording, engagement, according to Gallup, has ticked up a bit from its low point of 30% in February of 2024. I believe strongly that if A, corporate leaders do a better job of defining and communicating organizational purpose, vision, and goals, while B, each of us simultaneously identifies and connects with our purpose and lives with intention, employee engagement will increase. We all win if we operate with more intention. Thanks for listening today. My name is Andy Tempty. This is a Saturday Morning Muse. This show is produced by Nicholas Tempty. We'll see you next week.